Why is the integration of the insights you've attained so challenging? It all has to do with the way the mind works. The human mind, among its many wondrous capacities, has a remarkable ability to compartmentalize. One benefit of compartmentalization is that it enables you to cope with traumatic experiences by filing them away rather than generalizing them to the rest of your life. For instance, you may have been injured in a terrifying car wreck, had an unpleasant relationship with a significant other, or been the victim of an unjust situation at work. Yet you are able to let each of these experiences stand on its own and appreciate it as a unique occurrence. You do not become afraid to drive or have a serious relationship ever again, nor do you become bitter toward all bosses. Likewise, in order to be successful in your job, you sometimes may have to behave in a more cool, impersonal manner toward others than you would prefer. But you are able to compartmentalize this adaptation of your behavior. You manage to limit it to the office while remaining personal and open with friends and family at home. These are just two examples of the innumerable benefits of the ability to compartmentalize. However, compartmentalization also has its shadowy shortcomings. It can lead you to become so good at separating yourself from your emotions that you no longer know what you feel. And it can serve as an excuse for inappropriate behavior. You may feel indignant when others act irresponsibly, yet forgive yourself for acting irresponsibly in a similar situation because you compartmentalize your moral judgments. You hold yourself to a different standard. For example, you get upset when you find out that friends have gossiped about you. But if you look carefully, you're likely to discover that under the guise of sharing news about your friends, you're actually gossiping. An especially dramatic pitfall of compartmentalization is that you can learn a huge lesson about yourself in a particular situation or part of your life, but find that you are unable to generalize what you've learned. What happens to you in one situation does not get applied to the rest of your life. This inability to integrate your hard-won insights and understandings can severely limit your psychological and spiritual development. For instance, you may be trapped in a lie and think, "I'm glad I learned that lesson. I must remember to tell the truth." But then you turn around and tell a lie again 6 weeks later. Or have you ever experienced a moment of deep understanding about what really matters to you, only to be shocked months later when you re-experience the very same insight and realize that you haven't once referenced it in your life in the meantime? Humbly, you have to acknowledge the fact that despite how much impact the insight seemed to have, it was not enough of an impact to change your mental habits or your behaviors. What this means is that you can only begin to feel as though you have fully realized an insight when it becomes firmly rooted in your mind and heart. Being rooted means that you have constant access to it. The insight becomes part of the framework you use to interpret whatever arises in the body and mind. It means avoiding compartmentalization and consciously seeking to integrate the insight into your life as a whole. The Buddha understood this phenomenon of the human mind and its consequences, and he realized that in order for the Four Noble Truths to be valuable, your realization of them must be perpetually awake and readily available. Hence, the Buddha's third insight for each noble truth as described in the Samyutta Nikaya is the realization that this noble truth has been penetrated by full understanding, or knowing that you know. The three empowerments that come from knowing that you know. The realization of the third insight empowers you in three ways. First, only by knowing that you know will you have a base of insight that will allow you to realize the remaining insights. Otherwise, you will get stuck in your thoughts and emotions. While you may mentally understand the Buddhist teachings about suffering, its causes, and its cures, you will struggle to fully realize the teachings in your life. Thus, the understanding provided by the third insight serves as preparation for a further unfolding of your dance with life. Second, by enabling you to integrate